What's up guys, it's Flying Squirrel with another video which is a little different today. I'm going to be ranking the Star Wars movies in my opinion. In last place we have the Clone Wars. Okay, I actually haven't seen this movie, but I saw the first 6 seasons of this show, which is pretty much counts, right? I used to watch it a lot when I was younger, but it definitely is just targeted for younger kids. The storyline itself is kind of bad though, because they created Ahsoka Tano so that more girls would be interested, I guess. But it's confusing because in Revenge of the Sith, Anakin couldn't even be given the rank of master yet. This was his Padawan. She left though, but apparently in the last season she came back, then left again, and to make things more confusing, she appears in Rebels and The Mandalorian. The only good thing I remember about this show is how it confirmed Darth Maul survived. Coming in at number 11 is Rogue One, and I'm a little unsure about this one because it's the only one that I've watched once, which was a few years ago, and my opinion probably would have changed if I watched it again. But from what I remember, I really just wasn't feeling the Star Wars in this movie, probably because of the new characters and the fact that they weren't any Jedi in it. But it was cool how they recreated Grand Moff Tarkin, and there were some pretty interesting things about the Death Star. So there were some parts in the middle that I liked, and the end was epic. So it was an okay movie, but not exactly what I was hoping for. Now for number 10, we have The Phantom Menace. This one definitely had a lot of effort put into it, and I think it took like 2 years to edit. But it just seems like there's something missing. We do learn some important things about the storyline, but it didn't seem like everything in the movie was necessary. Now, Darth Maul was a perfect villain, and the lightsaber fight at the end was the coolest, but not everything was very interesting about this movie. Number 9 is going to have to be The Force Awakens. Now, this was actually a really good movie, and it was cool how they were able to introduce new characters while also having Han Solo and Chewbacca return, but Luke and Leia's roles in the film were really short. I think the main problem with this film is simply the fact that the storyline completely copied A New Hope. This was the first Star Wars movie by Disney, and I would say that they played it pretty safe, but did they really have to do that? And rest in peace, Han Solo, by the way. For number 8, we have Return of the Jedi, which is a fantastic film, but easily the weakest of the original trilogy. It starts off with Jabba's palace, which is a slightly weird place, but still okay. But I think that it could have gone a little faster than it did. Then Boba Fett, the coolest character, had to die, but at least we now know that he survived. They were able to include Yoda and Obi-Wan for a little bit of the film, which confirmed that Vader was Luke's father, but then Obi-Wan had to make some excuse about what he told Luke was true from a point of view. But in reality, Obi-Wan had said plenty of other lies in A New Hope. It was interesting how they defeated the Empire on Endor with the help of Ewoks who look like teddy bears, which is a little odd for an action movie, but still works out, and the scene where the Ewok rides on a speeder is hilarious. Then there's the final battle between Luke and Vader along with the Emperor watching. Some people say it's pretty emotional, but I didn't necessarily find myself crying. It is satisfying though when Vader decides to defeat the Emperor to save Luke's life and turns to the light side before he dies. So this is a pretty good movie, but still a little weird. Number 7 is Attack of the Clones. Some people have criticized this one, but I think it was okay. It was the first Star Wars movie to be shot on a digital camera, and they were just getting used to the CGI and green screen and stuff. I think the acting was pretty good, and the beginning was really cool, but my favorite thing about this movie is that it explains Boba Fett's backstory and includes his father, Jango Fett. But a lot of this movie was wasted on a love story between Anakin and Padme, and by the way, Anakin's haircut was weird even though it's what all Padawans wear. And another problem is that Count Dooku doesn't even show up until closer to the end of the movie when he's supposed to be like the main villain along with Palpatine and Jango Fett. But I absolutely loved the final battle. I am a little upset that they shortened Jar Jar's role though, because even if he's a little annoying, he's still really funny even though conspiracy theorists claim he's a Sith Lord. Number 6 is going to The Last Jedi. They didn't play it as safe as The Force Awakens, which is okay, but some of the movie is weird, and this being the longest Star Wars movie, it goes at a pretty slow pace. And a lot of this movie was just the Resistance running away from the First Order, but the storyline was really good, and it revealed that what Luke Skywalker had been doing as he went through a change. I really liked the parts with Finn and Rose, but I absolutely loved the special effects, fight scenes, and the porgs. The ending is okay, and overall, this movie is a masterpiece. Moving on to the top 5, we have Solo, A Star Wars Story in 5th place. What I loved about this movie is not only that it reveals Han Solo's origin story, but just the fact that it isn't just a battle between Jedi and Sith Lords. We get to see what the other people are doing in the galaxy with guns instead of lightsabers, which gives you the Western feeling. I was also glad how they added Lando in the Millennium Falcon and even ended the movie with Han winning it from Lando. The only thing wrong with this one is Lando's annoying droid. The 4th best movie is the conclusion to the saga, The Rise of Skywalker. Some people really didn't like this one, but I thought it was really cool how they ended it with lots of action and even a little comedy here and there. But Disney definitely did not play this one safe as they decided to go all in. I like how they brought back Lando Calrissian, a vision of Han Solo, Luke's Force Ghost, Palpatine, even though it ruins the ending of Return of the Jedi, and added a few new characters too. The main problem with this film is that they had so many characters and events that needed to happen, and trying to smush them all into 2 hours wasn't very easy. It was also weird how there was a little romance between Kylo Ren and Rey at the end, which kind of started in The Last Jedi, but it was also kind of dumb how we go from The Last Jedi, where everyone kind of forgot about Palpatine, to in the very beginning of the movie, just out of nowhere, oh hey, Palpatine randomly came back to life, and we're not going to explain how. I will say, out of all the Star Wars movies, this was definitely the least boring. There was stuff going on all the time. In 3rd place is Revenge of the Sith, and most prequel fans have agreed that this is their favorite Star Wars movie. I think out of every Star Wars film, this one definitely had the most memes in it. It is just a work of art, a masterpiece, and an epic conclusion to the prequels, and it ends very dramatically and a little sadly with like 99% of the Jedi and Padme dying. But it explains everything to people who were confused about, back when there was only the original trilogy. And it just had Luke and Leia being born too, and it was nice how they included a Wookiee planet featuring Chewbacca, and had an amazing lightsaber battle between Obi-Wan and Anakin, as well as Yoda and Palpatine. I do think that Anakin's transformation to the dark side was a little rushed, though, considering he was just kind of angry, then he had like one conversation with Palpatine, and then turns to the dark side. Those poor younglings. But this is just a fantastic movie. Number 2 is A New Hope, the original movie that started it all. What's not to love about it? You've got outstanding performances and plenty of visual effects that were far ahead of its time. The story is pretty simple but still very good, and it ends with a space battle. I just want to say that for being the first Star Wars space battle, it was just perfect. There's no wonder that this was the highest grossing film at the time, even though before it was released, they were actually worried that it wouldn't be successful. But in 1st place, my favorite Star Wars movie, we have The Empire Strikes Back. Now, this is just a wonderful movie. There's the Battle of Hoth, Luke's Jedi training, and the ending at Cloud City. Although Obi-Wan only appeared briefly, there were some outstanding new characters like Yoda, Boba Fett, and Lando Calrissian, who are very iconic these days. Then there's the plot twist when Vader reveals to Luke that he's his father. Back in 1980, audiences could not believe their ears. There's plenty of battles, romance, and a few funny moments, making this not only a fantastic Star Wars film, but simply one of the greatest movies of all time. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to do that and like the video. Let me know in the comments what your opinion is, because I would love to know. I will see you guys in the next one.